Joining us as well. Thank you once again, Renmar, for going through the pre-games here and then the draft with us. It's us at the English desk, ready for a matchup here against these two teams, fighting for a spot in the knockouts. Will it be RRQ or will it be Aurora Gaming from Turkey? We have interesting drafts, to say the least, here for game number one in this best of three. We're getting a glimpse of exactly where things are falling into place. Mirko, what do you have to say about the drafts here?
It's CC in the goal lane. Well, I honestly don't know. This is uncharted territory for all of us.
For everyone.
For everyone. We didn't expect the Atlas to show up here. The Kaja roam as well, we didn't expect. We expected the Selena and East Shin. That's about it, right? Like everything else is kind of like up to them.
When was it? You know, I know this was Lafell that I asked. I was like, you bring a scythe to a gunfight? Well, now you bring yo-yos. If there's a scythe, just bring a yo-yo. That seems to be the answer for the Ruby gold lane. I don't remember the last time that we've seen a competitive match without a traditional, like, marksman on both sides.
Yeah, and Toy has been such a traditional marksman for such a long time. This could actually play with, you know, the muscle memory. Even in MDL, I don't really remember him playing a lot of the fighters in the gold lane, obviously because of the meta, but that means that he's, I don't think, as used to it as Sigiboom, who has played a bit more Dyran, though, on the Masha. I like that. Let's take a look at the emblems.
Yeah, looking at this too, again, whole lot of Brave Smites here too. The Atlas is going to be great for setups later on. Kaja as well, going with the hybrid, has to pull yourself together. It's going to be crucial for EDOC to try to go for some catches here with the Divine Judgment, especially playing against Rosa on the Selena, who has been a highlight for a lot of the matches that we've seen from Aurora Gaming already. And yeah, even so, I think the fact that Uranus has struggled a little bit in the competitive matches we've seen, maybe he works just better in this matchup in the jungle for now against the YSS, which has popped up quite a bit. This first turtle's up, so this is where we get to see that, but some of the level 4 is still missing, especially from our roamers here for EDOC, but they're going to force it anyway. Yeah,
Luna with the Bravest Spider. Let's give it the arrow landing too. First blood to Rosa. Free turtle to Aurora Gaming.
Great setup early on. Again, it's Rosa with these abyssal arrows. You got to watch out for the traps too. That gives them information to go and put pressure on the buff. Is it going to be a response?
Curtain call. Good flicker from Rosa. Aurora just outplaying RRQ in the first 2 minutes of the game. And RRQ are already on the back foot.
Gives himself a nice little bit of a lead to work with. Nothing too crazy though. RRQ definitely is a lineup that wants to also wait for EDOC to have that level 4. Divine Judgment is such a big component to making this work in the early game, because if you look at the heroes that they have, man, there's not that many. Like, to make something happen in the early game. Whoa!
Solo kill! Oh, time with the flicker out. Lunar might just be dead. Thunderclap in! Solo kill for Lunar! Up top against Dyran. No flicker. Sutsujin walks up now, looking for the kill already. Apex 47 getting the damage down. Seeing him, Lunar staying alive, but will fall to Sutsujin. So at least it'll be traded back.
Well, that was interesting. I mean, that was crazy from Lunar to actually be able to make that work too. But again, all this, Mirko has brought them a nice little comfortable lead, 1.5k ahead up to this point against RRQ. It's going to put them in a good position for the next objective. But now that level 4s are available across the board, this is where we start to see some of the setups in the mid lane. Apex? Okay. Oh, they're just going to force him off. Apex will take some shots. He's tanky enough. It's been a while since we've seen an Atlas in play, but you know, again, tanky enough. It's funny because sometimes you also get to see the focusing mark Atlas or the Kaja, but this time not. There's an arrow though.
Apex 47 from the back as well. Perfect match landing. Traction pulse coming down. Fatal Lace on 3. Good Purify out there as Zito walks up with Divine Judgment. There's no damage. His Toy gets caught by the arrow. Rosa dives in under the turret. Gets a kill, and it's a 3-4-0 trade. Apex knows there's no Purify. Walks up with the perfect match, and that is another free buff stolen away by TNZ. Should be a turret too. A turtle.
Yeah. They're so clean with it, man. I mean, that fight there, everything layered really well, and the popping of the Purifies, but then Apex still goes in with the Fatal Links to be able to catch some. It's so well timed. Oh, EDOC.
Okay.
Yeah, you might want to get out of here, EDOC. Someone's got to deal with Rosa's Selena too. At some point, I almost expect that to be banned out specifically against Aurora Gaming, because right now these arrows are so difficult to deal with. Belated Hepsi's picked up by Dyran. We'll have to see the items if we can get that brought up here to see where they're going forward. So again, a lot of these first items already locked in on both sides. But yeah, man, there's a big lead starting to build up here too. Even in the gold lane, 1,000 difference between this matchup that we weren't really expecting here.
No conceal, no purify on board. Fatal links onto now the mounted shocker too. Beautiful combo by Apex and TNZ.
Can I just say it again? It's so clean and out.
2 for 2 on the solo kill. Traction pulse will trade it back, but Lunar has definitely been the one, the alpha in the XP matchup as the turret falls in the bottom lane.
I think Lunar's just going to take that every time, man. He'll take the 1v1 and he's going to jump into the turret, and after that, he's like, whatever happens, happens. I get the kill. It's a great matchup there. Yeah, value, because look at this. This is all value for Aurora Gaming. 5,000 ahead. There's the pull, but damage. Apex just doesn't care.
Yeah, no damage yet. No, Davis didn't get it. Dyron with the flicker forward, gets a thunderclap down. Rosa caught on the bad spot now as Dyron looks for another reset on it and gets a double. Mounted shocker by TNZ, gets a kill back. That's him unstoppable. Edoc, no divine judgment as TNZ utilizes the traceless back.
Again, at least RRQ is able to fight back, get something off the divine judgment. I almost for a second thought Apex 47 wouldn't go down. A little bit of action here, but Sigaboom's not going to be able to catch Sutsujin at all on this Uranus, unless TNZ has something to say. You're still tanky enough, but I don't know, man. You're falling behind. 3 levels now difference between the junglers here. TNZ 5-0-2. This is what we saw in his Lancelot performance. Now he's doing it even on the YSS, and they're going to have control of the third turtle of the game. RRQ, I don't know if they really want to fight this, if they want to contest it, as it looks like they're just going to let it go. They've got the information, but
Flicker, Divine Judgment, damage coming down as well. Retraction Pulse knocking him down. Apex looking for the backline as TNZ gets the turtle for free. Curtain call there. Sutsujin is able to escape with the Consecration. Gets thumbed up by the Abyssal Arrow. Fatal Links brings him back. Lunar gets the kill. An all-out win for Aurora.
Great job. Dyron, though.
Thunderclap landed on Lunar. Apex 47 pops in a perfect match. And that's about it.
Yeah, that's all they're going to get. You catch Sutsujin with those Fatal Links, and man, he's just going to lose more of his jungle. You know, this orange buff is up. I'm not sure if they were going to go ahead and make a play from that, but Lunar's definitely just kind of waiting there to see what happens. You can see the difference, too, in terms of gold for the junglers. Yeah, 2.5K ahead right now. And I think this is just going to solidify more that the Uranus is struggling, man. He's having a really hard time. When we saw he was going to be such a strong, definite pick throughout this. So, struggle for a while for Sutsujin. Going to have to rely on the team to catch up. Especially, it puts you in a weird position where it's like we don't have this traditional marksman in the gold lane that we can like hopefully bank on later. I don't think a gold lane CC is going to be that. So it's like, then where do you shift your focus? Well, maybe it's got to be Dyron to be able to, you know, clap down on someone later on. Rins possibly as well. But it's just a very interesting lineup that isn't what we're traditionally used to seeing here. As you see, Dyron's still going to be up top. They're going to fight for this purple buff.
Apex.
Oh, Apex.
Look at the flank with the conceal already. Purple buff taken away. Sigaboom with the I'm offended. Now over to Sutsujin. A full burst down. Pops to the Consecration. Traction Pulse doesn't land. Apex 47 now caught. Oh, gets cancelled. Divine Judgment locks him down. The Fatal Link still comes through though, and that's a damage from Lunar. AOE plus the trap. It'll be traded back as Dyron walks up and gets the kill over. No, it's Rins who picks it up. Rosa lands the trap and the arrow. Purify out by Rins, but he is in no man's land. Rosa gets the shutdown. TNZ in the back, finding it. Now it's a double, and Aurora have wiped the Kings out.
I gotta say it again. It's so clean from Aurora Gaming. The timing, the windows, it's all falling into place. Let's look at the instant replay. I mean, Apex played cat and mouse for a while, goes in between the tier 1 and tier 2, but he's like, guys, I'm gonna go in. He gets Divine Judgment, but the team is so synced up that they go in and follow through anyway. Even for Lunar to go ahead and stall this out, Rosa lands another arrow, and then TNZ swings forward. This was such good communication and synergy that has been showcased time and time again from Aurora Gaming. They are locked in here for game 1, and you can see it again. This is, you know, this is a very specific lineup that does. Oh, hold on, Apex giving information. I don't think he's going to be able to do much, but this lineup allows them to do that.
Apex 47, the true Apex Predator here in this game, and constantly flanking RRQ. And Sutsujin, while he can sustain, you can't really continue to sustain when you're just CC'd every time. You can't move at all. I think this is like the third purple buff that he's taken this game. Every other one has been snatched away by Aurora. Lunar, already with the Bravest Spider, gets a stun down too. TNZ rotates up top. Lord taken. Apex looking for the kill again. Has a perfect match. Pops it in. But it's just to threaten Sutsujin for him to back away.
Okay, here's the Lord. Shields are still going to be up, so they're going to force him off the tier 2s. And we'll see if RRQ has enough to defend. Again, with this composition, oh, I'm offended, won't land. Keep trying to keep it together. Apex 47 could start up a fight. He does have Flicker, but I don't know if it's going to be worth it. We've seen too many leads get turned around, and Aurora Gaming knows this. This is what we've been talking about. I know, all pun intended, mastering the basics, don't want to overextend it, don't want to throw the game here. And so they'll just get what they can. Shields are popped up in the mid lane. They'll continue to focus down the next if they can, but not forcing it. Now for RRQ, if they want to somehow, some way turn this around, it's got to be on their own. Maybe it's a divine judgment. Maybe it's that traction pulse that finds a couple members of Aurora Gaming. But do they have enough damage to follow through? I think a lot of this is, now you see the BOD picked up.
Look at that.
From Dyron, but that is that question. Looking at the damage meters, man, it is so far behind.
Yeah. Oh, man. 4 members of Aurora before you get a glimpse of Rins on the Kimmy. And you got to understand that for most of these picks, especially Rins and Dyron, they have to scale a bit more for them to actually deal damage. If Aurora had like a 14 or 12k gold lead by the time that happens, I don't think it'll be enough to come back.
Yeah. Sutsujin finally getting his buff again. TNZ's been level 15 locked in for a long time, so Sutsujin's still playing massive catch up here. But even so, his job really as this Uranus jungle is to be kind of more like that front line. Like, he is the guy just going to be tanking up a lot, and that's why you have to hope that somehow, some way, when they catch up in terms of items, I think one of the plays that they could make is Dyron goes to that back line. If they somehow shut down TNZ, I don't even think that's the complete end of it all, because like we saw when Sigiboom played the Ruby before, he does enough to go ahead and heal back up, but it just stops RRQ from disengaging. And so once so much is expended and you're trying to run away or disengage, you're forced to deal with this Ruby at the amount of crowd control even with Apex 47. So this is just a free Lord going over to Aurora Gaming. All this leading into how can RRQ defend against this push? Do they have a lineup that's actually going to allow them to stay in this? Because even wave clear wise, it's not that great.
Nope, not at all. RRQ just have the Kimmy, right? Everyone else is, well, I guess you have the CC to deal damage to like the Lord, but that's it. The mini waves, it's all gonna be on the hands of Kimmy to like try to clear.
Yeah.
And for Aurora, I guess the same could be said about them. Their siege isn't too good. They're gonna have to just rely on the Yi Sun Shin, but they have dive. They have a way to threaten the back with Apex too.
Yeah. Apex 47 and Sigiboom could literally flicker towards the wall and catch someone most likely. A Mound Shocker to give the information they need. Lord's going to be pulled in. It charges in the mid wave. Conceal use. Are they going to go here?
Dyron forced back already by the perfect match of Apex 47. 2 base turrets taken down now. Its mid lane will fall too. Mound Shocker lands on Sutsujin. Sigiboom goes in for the I'm Offended. Doesn't land. RRQ still able to defend. Now the curtain call landing on 2. No, I'm Offended. And Apex 47 won't go in just yet. They'll play it slow. They know they have waves and the advantage. RRQ defend the Lord. But Aurora are not done just yet. I'm Offended over to Toy. Apex 47 looking to play. Has Purify. Toy. Bravest Spider by Lunar. Apex right there with a perfect match. Lunar actually diving in a bit too deep. Getting chunked. That's a Divine Judgment. Over by Apex 47. Fatal legs! I'm Offended at the Mountain Shocker. What a combo by Aurora Gaming. Dyron jumps in the midst of it all, but cannot deal enough damage. 2 members of RRQ falling. The arrow not landing. Sutsujin still standing there. Sigiboom goes over to I'm Offended again. What a combo. Rins free hitting. Getting the immortality. TNZ looking for the base. Lunar taken out. Rins getting rid of the minions. Toy still there as well. Apex right there. I'm Offended by Sigiboom. Locks him down. And it should be GG for game number 1. TNZ gets a double. We'll have to wait for the wave up top. Destroying the base turret to win this game. 2 seconds on EDOC. I don't think they'll care. Aurora take game 1.
And there you go. A dominant game 1 for Aurora. 12k gold lead towards the end there. Interesting drafts, but Aurora Gaming comes out on top for game 1.
At this point, we have to accept it. No team in the world and in this tournament right now is playing and drafting like Aurora Turkey. RRQ Hoshi tried to show that they can dance to the same tune, but they just kept tripping up on their own feet. As Aurora have brought us back to the past, shades of what MLBV was like back then, with like pure funnel into the center of the map.
Man, it was, I guess, this is amazing, by the way, from Lunar to be able to get that, but I guess the answer still is, what do you bring to that fight with the Scythe? Because so far, Sigiboom has been uncontested in that gold lane. They tried the CC, it just didn't work. It was so awkward, too, towards the end there, that last fight, because it's like, usually if you have that marksman, they can go ahead and lock down the base. But eventually, TNZ was able to do that. But still, from start to finish, there was so much difficulty from RRQ to deal with Rosa's information, TNZ's setting up, Apex being able to find all this. Like that layering, that wombo combo itself happened so many times for Aurora Gaming, and that's why I'm saying it was so clean from them.
It was too clean for RRQ to handle. And again, when RRQ thought they had an ace up their sleeve, you see the Atlas come in, and it was literally just a perfect pick here to deal with whatever RRQ was planning with. Because again, Uranus, the reason they picked it up was because, all right, we're going to sustain through the initial burst of Aurora's comp and the kind of like lack of full burst power. But if the Uranus just stays in place, everyone will get the hit on, right? And like that's what the Atlas brought to the table. The threat of them clumping up together and getting brought into a combo and none of them moving.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because RRQ, with their last 2 picks in the draft, it felt a little bit off. There was something there that could have just been different, but then you could also say just Aurora just answered it really well. If you look at Aurora's composition, you see pure laser focus in supporting every part of the map for TNZ.
Yes.
Hypothetically, this could have just been 2 dead side lanes and just all action in the center. But RRQ ended up picking up the Masha, which sort of like shifted. It was like their way of saying, we're not fully confident in just the Kimi alone. So we needed some sort of other carry, but the Lapu Lapu just could mess up the Masha so badly in lane.
It's not really the best of matchups for the Masha, dude. Like up against the Lapu Lapu, Masha needs to just survive in lane. But when you're up against such an aggressive XP laner like the Lapu with a crazier power spike than Masha level 4, under the turret, he wasn't safe, direct.
That's a good example of just how I feel like impressive Lunar has been. Again, we saw so much of the Phoveus. Now we get to see him on the Lapu. So I think even other teams, when they're seeing this, it's like, man, we really got to be able to actually hold our own against this. Because the way Lunar is playing it sort of reminds me of little shades of Sanford. You know, like very aggressive. He'll take those 1v1s and win them, even if it means afterwards he's probably going to die. Because what that is doing is it's sending other members of the team to go deal with Lunar, you know, to make sure. So then it opens up the other side of the map. And that's what we saw here so well from Aurora Gaming. And it was just a really good synergy amongst all the roles here. And they all really played their part.
RRQ just looked like they were absolutely shocked. You could commend them for trying their own way of how Aurora would play. Yes, I like that. They were mountain shocked by Aurora. It's... Again, I really feel like just in the second half of the draft, they somewhat lost confidence in their initial game plan, which was like funnel everything into the CC, and that costed them. I'm trying to think though, what else could have they put in the XP lane to just make it a dead lane?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel just like for RRQ, they try to match the loco of Aurora with their own loco, but it ended up just being more like goofy and zany, man.
It was a little bit more goofy there in the end, and because Aurora's loco is there's at least one clear, concise goal every time that they pull this off. So TNZ continues to impress. 937 gold per minute, deathless, perfect. And because of the adjustment of RRQ in terms of their strategy, Susujin became the sandbag, and Sigiboom on this Ruby was another layer of threat of just like, okay, nice, we killed the Lapu. Wait, the Ruby's still there.
Yeah, that's 2 like very sustainable heroes that they just had. And then I think based off that, when we see that breakdown too, TNZ's got to be at the top, like for junglers right now. The guy has not, I don't think he's died. Or like
I think he has died,
maybe a couple times.
I think he has the best KD in the tournament so far.
Yeah, for sure. like based off of the games that we've already seen him play, and yeah, and because of this performance, wow, the evolution of Aurora and how Coach Master of the Basics and Dexstar in combination as well. We have to give it up to Coach Bad Gal Seth as well, just allowing Aurora to play in such a way that I can confidently say that no other team in the tournament is playing like right now. Their unique take in this meta, throwing it back to when we were just funneling everything into the center of the map, where side lanes just felt like two fighters duking it out to see who fights better. And they have shocked and awed the world, and they continue to do so again. What RRQ needs to do, there's a lot of questions, lots of big adjustments they need to consider if they want to force this into game number 3. But all roads are pointing to Aurora Gaming being able to take the cake and secure the knockout spot. Before we continue, though, we have to toss you on over to Baloyski and Eterna for an interview.
BBB.
Triple B is in the building, boys and girls. Hello, Baloyski.
Hello, Eterna.
How are you doing?
Good, doing good.
Good, good. Okay, with the big brain Baloy coming into the building, we gotta pick your brain just a little bit here. What is going on with the meta, Baloy? Tell us, what are your thoughts? Is it as flexible as that to see two fighters in the gold lane?
The good thing about the meta right now is it's so flexible because of the jungle. They can play both utility, tank, or the assassin. That's why the gold lane can also be flexible. I really like the meta right now.
So what else could we be expecting potentially in the coming future?
I don't think there will be a lot, but for sure there will be flexible. Like if they have YSS, it will be have more surprise pick, to be honest with you. But besides that, it's gonna be normal assassin versus tank, or assassin versus assassin, or tank versus assassin. That's it.
Okay, so it really depends on what the jungler is going to be filled with, right?
For sure.
Okay, but specifically about these two teams, because it's already 1-0 now for Aurora, and it's weirdly to say that we're in an era where RRQ look like the underdogs here. Do you agree with this notion? Do you think Aurora is the stronger team?
I'm not surprised about the performance of Aurora because they are a really good team from internationals. They always beat team that have the potential to win championship. But yeah, I think RRQ need to catch up more on drop. If they do, I'm confident that they can win also.
Okay, so you think it's a draft problem?
Yeah, but besides that, Aurora is really strong.
Okay, what about play style? Do you see like a difference in play style between these two teams?
Well, play style not a lot. They're both aggressive team, but I think the Aurora have just a better depth and then have a better gameplay in game 1, and let's see what game 2 can be.
What about mechanics? Any differences in mechanics?
For sure I have, but each player have their strength. Each player like head-to-head advantage. Some of them can win, some of them can lose, but at the end of the day, it's gonna be a team game.
Okay, okay. But if we specifically see like individuals here, let's say in the jungle, Sutsujin versus Tianzi, because Tianzi has been popping off since a couple days ago. What are your thoughts on the jungle matchup?
Well, before this match, I already know Tensi will have a good game because since M5, if I remember, he always performs so good already. That's why I'm not surprised at him. Every international, he tried to prove himself, and maybe it's time for him to prove it more.
Oh, maybe an avenue for him to prove more.
Yeah.
Now, coming into this next game, we're already 1-0, like we mentioned before. But what are your predictions here, Baloy? Do you think RRQ can come back for game number 2?
Well, it depends on what they're planning. But I think if they didn't adjust, it will be hard for them. Maybe they need to respect some hero of the Aurora, like Yusen and Selena. I think it's the main problem. Let's see if they can catch up.
Okay, so maybe force Rosa on a different hero and force Tianzi on a different hero. Do you think it would be different if, let's say, Rosa was on another hero? Why do you think the Selena is so important for Aurora's gameplay?
It's not just the arrow, right? I see his map control is really good. When he's using Selena, their map is so big. That's why it's one of the main factors why they can make very good moves.
Okay, we'll see exactly who's going to be able to pick up game number 2 because it looks like the players are all ready. So once again, thank you so much, Baloyski.
Thank you, Artana.
We'll get to watch it in the back rooms later on because we're going to throw it over back to our casters.
Thank you, Baloyski, for the big brain breakdown. Oh, everything's so clear right now. And yeah, I think I'm going to ride on that one single thing that he decided to focus on.
Which one?
Take the Selena away from Rosa.
Yeah.
It's
Make
not
the
like
map smaller.
It's not like he's already gone it 4 times.
Yeah, 4th time in a row. They're just consistently good with it and very comfortable.
I said it in the game. I was like, someone's got to take this. Someone's got to take it away. Ban it out. And this is what's going to happen. I think next game, ban Lancelot, ban Selena.
All right, yeah. Let's see if that will be the case for the bans with the Lancelot, Selena, and let's see if that nice prediction will hit to further understand why this team is just so good right now and why they are surprising the world. Here's Aurora.
Base wide open, a few waves coming down as well. This will be it. RRQ takes a clean sweep against Area 77.
Onyx PH juga salah satu kontender terkuat di MSC, jadi nanti bakalan jadi match seru lah.
Pandangan gue lawan Onyx PH pasti bakal seru banget lah. Jadi kita bakal ngasih pertandingan yang terbaik kita lah lawan mereka.
Onyx Filipin'e bol şans diliyorum çünkü şansa ihtiyaçları olacak.
Oh no! It's a disaster for the Super Fam. Super Prince tries, but Aurora Gaming made it happen. And Sigma did it too on the Ruby. What a game 3 for Aurora Gaming.
I don't see any big mistake with the Onyx page. It's just like Aurora Turkey is more prepared than that.
Aurora did a very good job. Their macro is really good, and I think Aurora improved a lot.
3, 2, 1.
There's a lot of news that Aurora Turkey is really one of the dark horse in this tournament, so not really surprised that they did a pretty good job in their first match of the group stage. So yeah, I think they're just a team to watch out for.
Just goes to show how different Aurora are. If you have every other team and at the end of every huddle just going, "Wah!" You have Aurora just going, that's the first time I've ever seen do something like that for their huddle. Now, great that we got to understand them a little bit more, but if you want a little bit more good stuff happening in your in-game, don't forget about our All-Star event. Ooh. Dino Planet.
Dino.
Best things in the world. Dinosaurs, technology, and bang bang.
Yes, sir. Hey, look at that, right? 27th of June all the way to the 5th of August. You guys can go and check it out. It's online right now. Dice roll your way into skins, man. Mr. Renmar can't get the Popo. I can't even get the Jawhead, but I know you guys have been playing the game non-stop to achieve what you believe in. And you believe in the Popo Koopa skin.
Get it now.
I won't be getting it. I'm already heartbroken.
Dude, I'm not
messed
even gonna
up.
get Jawhead, man.
Bro, you already got
either.
a bunch of other skins that you mentioned earlier.
That's
so
true.
like we're good here. I think it's time to try and if we can although I feel like it's so difficult to break down what potentially RRQ could do to break down Aurora in the draft. We've already started off with something that Baloyski set up for us, which was take away the Selena. But then if you take away the Selena, you still have 2 heroes who can rotate the map very well and get vision in the Farsa. And although she's fallen out, I would still consider Aurora to be the type of team to consider Zetian.
They might. I think we also have to go ahead and consider the fact that, let's just say, if this happens where Aurora ends up sweeping RRQ, I think they're automatic a tournament favorite. They already are. They already are. But if they beat RRQ in a sweep,
yeah,
I think a lot of people are going to put them in the championship spot.
Everyone wants to avoid them.
Yeah, I'm gonna add double that idea too as well. Backstage, I was saying you know what? If they sweep RQ here, I'm confident enough to say they're gonna go into top 4 immediately.
Yeah.
Like whatever their first knockout match will be, it'll be like they can get through that, and then they're instantly in the top 4.
Right. Well, now in the draft, you called the Selena ban. It will be banned out, but no Lancelot just yet. We'll see about that now. Fanny and Selena. So respect to TNZ and Rosa.
Oh, does Sutrogen want to take it? Is that the plan? Or are we going to see a first pick Lancelot if it's open? Depending on this, because the YSS was banned out too from Aurora, but again, we've seen... Oh, there it is. Okay, so Lancelot banned out as well. Selena, like I expected, and then the Fanny. So this might... Where do we see RRQ go with this? Since they're going to be first pick on the blue side here, what do they prioritize?
I think the Baksha.
Baksha?
Utility for Sutrogen. Play the way they did against A77. See how that goes.
Baksha has a lot of map presence, helps control the center of the map, which by all means is the focal point for Aurora. As long as you can mess up the center of the map for them, the rotations of Apex and Rosa, that makes it easier to be able to apply pressure onto either Sigaboom and Lunar, depending who is the more accessible side lane. Excuse me. Baksha is the first pick of RRQ. If I'm Aurora, just go ahead and pick up the Farsa as early as possible. I wouldn't mind it.
Farsa Phobias maybe, or
Farsa CC could also be an option to go for up against the Baksha here. So we'll see. There are a lot of options. I mean, we haven't really been seeing a lot of the Grangers in this, like this early.
Yeah, it was very. I mean, that's what I love about our draft so far is they haven't, you know, because like last MSC and even back in M6, it's like we had very specific patterns that were very showed early on. Because this is already different. I mean, Aurora goes for the Jushin and then the Uranus.
Interesting. You would usually not want to go Uranus when you already see a Baksha on the other side, but they still decide to go for the Uranus and the Jushin. Jushin, all right, makes sense. But now for RRQ, do they just... I think they're still going to stick to the Kimi, right? Baksha Kimi combo? Or do they actually just go for Farsa instead?
Imagine Aurora puts this in the hands of TNZ too. Like, that would be a different thing, right? They actually put...
I don't like that, yeah.
I don't think they should, but I'm just saying that it's always a... Because we have to always say there's like always been surprises so far. So, but it's still technically a flex. But you can see RRQ, they'll go for the Cho early on, and then they lock in the Moskov here.
Yeah.
Essentially, when you have the Cho with you, you'd want to already show your mid laner that can burst with it. Is this them just trying to match the rotational speed of Apex and just try to control it through vision alone? Because they need more damage.
They are trying to secure mid prio right now with the Cho.
Oh, Angela Uranus. Oh, no.
There you go. Angela Jushin Uranus, dude.
They
like
ban
this...
out Esmeralda.
Oh, man. This is a really good start to the draft for Aurora right now.
Yeah, Angela... Uragella.
Uragella. That sounds... That can work.
Yeah.
Uragella.
Stick with that. Really, it's just Uragella. Okay. There is no other option.
All right. Uragella combination.
How about...
No.
No. So like the idea I guess for them would be like, all right, Uranus does get countered a bit by the Baksha, but if we have even more heals, what you gonna do about it?
Yeah, before Apex 47's pick last game, Atlas was last played at the MSC 2 years ago.
D7.
By D7 of Burnex Life. That's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
Yeah. Shout out D7.
Yeah, it was great to see the Atlas though, especially since we've been talking about it. You know, you can still get that skin that was shown there for you guys out there. I think you can still get it.
Yes, you can.
I got it back in 2020.
Same, bro.
You know,
2023.
Look at these
2023.
Yeah.
two Skinners beside me.
Skinners. Paquito gets banned. Interesting. The Farsa, there you go.
Yeah,
expected from RRQ, but RRQ could still just go Kimi, or the Aurora think, you know, we have Angela Uranus. Kimi ain't doing anything.
I'm only wondering why RRQ were so confident in just picking up the Moskov. The Cho I get mid-prio, but Moskov could have come later into the draft, or their Golden could have come later in the draft.
Wouldn't it be wow, can't speak. Wouldn't Esmeralda be great here for RRQ though?
Yes. Yeah, I think so.
All these shields.
I guess RRQ are expecting like a Joy, like an assassin for TNZ early, but yeah, this actually could still be a Uranus jungle, which is weird. I don't like it on TNZ.
Yeah.
But it is an option, knowing that a lot of the assassins have been banned out. No Yisun Shin, Aurora banned that out. Lancelot Fanny taken away by RRQ. Granger gets picked up by Aurora.
Okay. As much as Aurora has been very surprising in this tournament, and as great as their performances has been, isn't their draft just a little bit too honest, considering that you already see, you know how they're going to be playing this? Or is it just because it's so honest, but it's just a really strong lineup that you don't really need to worry about?
Aurora?
Yeah, Aurora.
Yeah, I think it's just a really strong lineup that you don't really need to worry about, because I don't think RRQ can go through the front line, at least no way early to mid. Like, they have to wait late game before they can go through it. And Aurora just have really good damage dealers now with the Granger first, but I really think they're going to go for another damage dealer. I don't think they have enough damage just yet.
What is mid gonna be though? Oh, an Eve.
Ooh, the old counter to the Jushin with the Cho.
Okay, and yeah, if they ever put this Uranus in the jungle, he's gonna be eating a lot of damage from that Eve. Gonna take a while though. RRQ's damage profile takes a while. It takes there's a lot of pressure on Dyron to actually win lane so hard that he's gonna be able to get his first damage item very quickly.
This is going to be a telling sign, though, too. Last pick, because it could still be swerved
Yeah.
a little bit if they wanted to, but
Indeed.
yeah, essentially the RQ, when you look at the lineup, this is kind of like a slow burn lineup. Now, if they can get pickoffs early on, that's great, but it's still going to be a bit hard. Oh, there it is.
That's good.
All right. Benedetta.
Eve, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. One pick out of nowhere, just like that. Similar to another Aurora EXP laner from the Philippines. Will this Benedetta actually end up into the EXP lane? That could end up becoming the reason why this Eve-centered formation of RRQ gets broken down. Will it be a sweep and straight to knockouts for Aurora? Or will RRQ force game number 3? It's MSC at EWC 2025. Anything can happen.
Thank you so much, Renmar. Again, breaking it down with us through that draft here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the English Desk. It's still me, Naisu, and Mirko to bring you a game number 2 in this best of 3, the battle for a knockout spot. Can we get to game 3? RRQ has their work cut out for them, or will Aurora Gaming from Turkey make it happen in a sweep and make it even more apparent that they are a force to be reckoned with? So looking at these lineups here, still TNZ, like we said, is going to be rolling with that Uranus in the jungle. This is a utility matchup now, and we were building up these junglers leading into this, and they've got the compositions, I feel like, to complement them. I'm only just hoping that, for RRQ anyway, they need enough time to make this lineup get online and be able to pop off later on.
Yeah. I really hope that Aurora are able to change the narrative of the Reyna's jungle. Right now, Edok with a mid-prio coming in. You can see the burst on TNZ. That might have been a mistake. TNZ, no movement ability. First blood to RRQ. And again, the narrative sticks. Naisu, Uranus jungle.
Not so good. Well, so far. I mean, we got to see. But that's the thing. Oh, Luna?
Lunar might be caught. Shield Unity. 2 early kills for RRQ.
Hey, I said they need a little bit more time, but when you have an early game like this, I guess, you know, you get 2 kills in your favor. Now you've already got this lead. Puts Aurora in a precarious position in the early game. We take a look at the emblems here. You can see building up, I think even so. You've got a whole lot of Impure Rages, of course. Also for this, the Concussive Blast on the Cho does quite a bit of damage, and that's what we saw earlier on, which secured them that first kill over. Oh, Apex 47. Man, this is going to be a struggle. He also had to burn the Flicker.
Yeah, this is why, personally, I really like the mid-trio for RRQ when they picked up the Eve. The Cho was a bit too early, but they managed to get the last 2 picks to fit their agenda here. Mid-prio was almost certainly going to be RRQ almost every single time. Shield Unity coming down, the damage with the G-Kundo too. Eye for 9, a Petrify used up, and it will just end up with a kill. Brave Spider by Tyron! Onto the turret! Oh, that burst! At least it'll be traded out with Rosa getting the kill, but a turtle has already been started by RRQ as Edok goes for the G-Kundo, knocks TNZ up. Sutsujin coming in with a Shield Unity, and that's the RWM to lock him down. Edok with the Lancer Flare thrown back.
Oh no.
That's it. Oh, purple buffs take as well, I think.
Yeah, they're going to put pressure here. So tough. You see how that fight played out, too. It looks like, yep, just going to lose the buff. Are they going to stall this out? I mean, he's so tanky.
No way.
He's just going to roll on out. Okay. Again, that fight was a perfect picture of exactly what this lineup can do. Even the fact that you're so tanky in a Baksha, you can just play into the real-world manipulation around these objectives is the major advantage of this composition. Meanwhile, all this is happening and Toy is just free to farm up, do his thing, because you can rely on this rest of this composition to do its part. I was thinking it would take him a lot longer to get online, man, but they are already there. And now that you have a level 4 for Edok, he's going to be most likely going for those kicks, going into those plays. Sutsujin getting an advantage too. 2 kills already this early on. A 2-level advantage against TNZ is why we see him just taking what he wants.
Sigiboom able to secure a few of those kills. Edok try to look for a pick there. And yeah, right now it's slow game for RRQ. And this is like back to at least, Sutsujin.
And again,
there's a long Shield Unity. Edok takes a turret shot too. Poisson's in the mid lane. And the consecration by TNZ.
I'm just actually, you know, now that we see this, it's like, it can be the same thing for Aurora where, Rose is so upfront. Okay, Rose is fine, but that's the thing. They have to rely on this Granger later on. To an extent, too, Lunar is going to be a little bit different here now with the hands of the Benedetta. That could mess things up in team fights later, especially with the Petrify. going for that backline, going for the Eve if she sets up, if he tries to set up the real world manipulation. But I just don't know if they want to do it now. The Turtle's going to be coming up here. They do have a heart guard they can rely on. There's a couple tools now that Aurora Gaming has that they didn't have in the previous fights. So if they manage to make this work, they could turn this game slowly around here, but RRQ has control. They're going to start up the Turtle.
Yep.
They have all the space in the world. This is great positioning from them, too. I don't think there's any way Aurora Gaming gets this, as it's a Turtle in the free hands for RRQ.
Yeah, absolutely no chance they go for the contest here. They're 2 behind to go for it. And again, so far their frontline situation isn't really looking too good with the shred from Rins and the anti-regen from SRG. He's going to go in with the shield unity, just zones him away as Toy picks up every single shot of that turret shield. Leaving a bit over, TNZ in the mid lane. Tyron pops in the Bravest Fighter. And will just clear out the mid lane as the Lancer Flare locks Edok down, but he has a Shunpu to escape. Again, a stun and more poke.
Yeah, this is a whole lot. You know, both lineups are kind of like that in a sense. That's what I was expecting from RRQ, but even for RR Gaming, their lineup won't allow them to really just go into these fights, and they almost have to respond to what Edok does. A lot of times, again, when you have a Cho in play, you're just going for those kicks. There isn't essentially someone to do that from Aurora Gaming. Now, eventually, like I said, Lunar could play that part, but we see them trying to slow things down. They've already lost quite a bit of ground in the early game. You're talking about a 3K gold lead that was built up in the first 4 minutes or so.
Yeah. Wow.
And so you've got to catch up here. You need time because you can see the disparity in the jungle alone. That 1.2K gold lead, but even more so, it's still that maintaining the 2-level lead against TNZ. And that's a difficult spot in unfamiliar territory. Oh, kick.
Oh, good dash by Lunar. Darren pops in the Bravest Fighter, now jumps in. Rosa with the flicker out, already used the Crimson Beacon earlier. So, there you go. Burnt resource.
Yeah, resources. Sometimes that's the name of the game right now, especially in a slower paced game. Off to a great start for RRQ, but even for them, it's like they acknowledge the fact that Aurora Gaming, you know, has some of these tools now, like the Heart Guard, and like the fact that Lunar could go ahead and pressure them with a Petrify, that they have to kind of approach it in a different way. And if that kick isn't in the right direction, then there's no point in following it up. You maintain the lead you have, you continue to farm up. They should be able to get even this third turtle, I think, without much of a nuisance, but there's a Petrify.
Yeah, but it's used defensively, and Edok, he used the Way of the Dragon, but unfortunately it wasn't actually cancelled by the Petrify.
Yeah.
It was cancelled, the animation, so there was no kick, but he still has it on. He still has it up.
He still has it available, so this is a turtle for the taking. It looks like Aurora's going to go for it.
RWM2, that's the box! Oh my lord, that damage! The sword and the blast from Rins. Oh, Rosa with the Crimson Beacon, try to read out the G-Kundo Flicker combo, but Edok just walks up and Toy gets the kill with the SOD! Tier 1 in the mid lane falling. RRQ with a massive lead.
Massive lead, and then now it's RRQ looking clean as ever. Just like we saw from Aurora Gaming in Game 1, it's completely swinged over to RRQ. They are on time for everything. They're finding these windows, and I don't know.
Damage.
Edok was there. He did have the flicker, but not going to make that call to go forward. So Aurora Gaming finding themselves pretty far behind already. It's just going to continue to balloon further. And I think this really is that game that's just solidifying the fact that, I mean, look at this Uranus. He's struggling.
Bravest Fighter by Dyron gets a stun as well. Now pops in the second part of the Bravest Fighter, but it's going to be the hard guard coming down. TNZ looking for an angle, but I don't really think that's an angle you want to take, brother man.
Yeah, you don't want to commit to that. Even with the hard guard burnt out. Again, I think you start to...
Edok.
Seal. Edok. He's going to go for Siggy.
Oh, good reaction by Siggy Boom.
Good response. But you see what's happening here, man. It's like every single thing that RRQ does, sometimes it's not even an ultimate or a flicker from themselves. They're getting these battle spells. They're getting these spaces to work with against Aurora Gaming, and it's really difficult. You're looking at just space taken. I mean, think about it. The tier 2 turret's about to go down mid lane.
SOD landing too, but it'll just force out the Crimson Beacon out from Rosa, and RRQ are really just suffocating Aurora at this point. They have Aurora at a choke point. Like, they can't trade neither. The Uranus has been up top, but Dyron's just been standing there like, hey, yeah, you can push the lane, but you can't get turret.
Lapu Lapu is insane right now so far from Game 1 to Game 2, just on different respective teams. You can already see item-wise, they're very far behind Even in that gold lane, 3 items already locked in here for Toy. Yeah, just a whole lot. Oh.
Yikes.
Yeah, that's why the healing's not really doing anything, man. Dominant's Eye, Sea Halberds.
Glowing Wand.
Glowing Wand.
And a
RRQ
Baksha.
and a Baksha.
Oh, man. Yeah, this sustained comp is... Oh, Tianzi walks up. Oh.
He's going to go
Actually
forward.
dealing quite a bit of damage. Edok with the way to Dragon now. Next hit as well. So Jin with the shield unity. Rosa jumping to the back line with the Crimson Beacon over to Rins now as Rins is able to dish out damage with Toy. Melting them down. The healing is non-existent from Aurora. You saw that shot? You saw that shot? Close.
Yeah, very close there. And that was just the reason of, hey, we have way more gold than you. We have way more items than you. We can take this fight. If maybe there wasn't a 7,000 gold differential here, maybe it would have been different. Because this was a fight that they decided to go for.
Yeah, this is just odd.
Which is very odd.
Dyron just gets an assassination.
Live cam view, assassination happens. So, again, Aurora Gaming is in a position where we've seen teams be in before. They're massively behind. Do they have a composition to actually defend against the Lord? Yes, they still have the shields up, but this is something they have to watch out for because fighting even on the turrets with an Eve on your side for RRQ, they can just be like, yeah, sit around your turret, we'll just pop up and angle the real world manipulation in a way that forces you to fight us anyway. So that's why you see Tianzi is holding that Lord there. He's trying to like delay it as much as possible. He's going to go ahead and work on it. You see Dyron though. He's willing to take the 1v1.
He's walking
down on bottom. Shield's going to pop up top. We got the 1v1 here going around the Lord.
Yeah, ring around the rosy. Tianzi just trying to buy time. He knows there's no way he wins this 1v1. He can just try to delay. Hard guard coming down as well. Tianzi gets away, kind of a non-lane there. But what this does is RRQ have another way to push in. Like the Lord wasn't really dealt with. I think not even half HP.
Yeah.
So it just ends up being a slow push for RRQ to get more. Oh my god.
He's dying.
Guys! They're just
still
fighting
going.
forever! Oh my god, battle it out! RWM to the back, Lunar pops in the eye for an eye! Edok goes in with the way Dragon still. Second part of it, Toy piercing through the turret over to Sigibu, who has to respect this with the Void Blast coming down. It's still a battle on the bottom lane as Toy gets a base turret. And finally, after what seems to be 9 years, the Lord gets to the vicinity of the... Tianzi's still running! Dad, we're just keeping him! Oh my god, this
is his job!
Hey, there you go. Hey, I'm here in your base now, man. Edok doesn't even want to kick, right? He's just like, all right, Jikunda, there you go.
This is where you say takes 3. Takes 3.
Oh my lord.
Hey, but did Tianzi accomplish anything there? I mean, he delayed things as much as possible, but still, they lost a base turret. They lost the shields. You're still down 10,000 gold. I think just, again, what did that accomplish for Aurora Gaming? You know, maybe bought them a little bit of time, but they're so massively behind that, and this is the full force of RRQ.
Oh.
There's RWM.
Yeah, Rosa forced to use a Crimson Beacon, and that should mean that it's going to be a free turret. Look at the piercing damage again through the turrets to Rosa and Apex. 2 base turrets in the sides. 30 seconds for the neutral objective spawn. Lunar, before he can even swing his sword, gets blasted down by Rins.
Yeah, this is so tough to see for Aurora Gaming just because they don't really have much positioning. Rosa picking up a brute force, trying to survive a little bit more here. Yeah, Twilight armor though for Susujin. This is a complete outclass for game 2, at least in this one. It's just completely in RRQ's favor, and Aurora Gaming, I feel like they're almost in that position where it's like, we're a little desperate. We wanted to go ahead and maybe take these fights, maybe force it, because it's getting to that point where it's just so one-sided for them. Lunar in trouble?
Eye for an eye coming down, but Petrify and the final slash, or sorry, the final blow.
Oh no.
Shots over to Tianzi. At least he's getting tanky, but Edok walks over to Jikundo. That's a flicker off for Siggy Boom, but the way of the dragon locks him down! And the RWM forces Siggy Boom to just take the shot from Sutsujin. The base wide open. RRQ will crack it up as Dyron pops in the Bravest Fighter. They'll take a bit longer here as they're actually out of minions.
Oof, they don't have minions. It's a little bit of health left. That wave's going to be pushing up top.
That's a Jikundo on the flicker into Rosa. A kill back at least. Aurora will make it 2 on the board. But RRQ send the question back to Aurora. Maybe they'll go Uranus Jungle.
Maybe don't. I think a lot of teams are going to be able to see what's happened here with Uranus Jungle, and it's not working out. A dominant game for RRQ.
I just have a question now.
Yes.
whose draft was worse? RRQ Game 1 or Aurora Game 2?
This is why I posed a question earlier if the Aurora draft was just a little bit too honest, because everything that they wanted to do and could have done was immediately shut down by great early game rotations. Again, Cho priority up against a center of the map that's Angela and Juicin.
Yeah.
Man, that does not feel good going into that. And even though you say, if you tell the Angela and Juicin, yeah, just be careful, high chance you're still going to lose the early.
I mean, this is 2 minutes in, you know, and they're doing stuff like that. And that's the crazy thing. I think maybe, just maybe it would have been different if the early game didn't happen like this. Like, because RRQ punished so hard 2.5 minutes in, and then they get the turtle, they continue on, they get resources, and it put Tianzi even further behind. They knew that opening, and it almost just completely shut down game 2. Like, from the get-go, I just felt like after that whole interaction, 3 minutes, 4 minutes in, it was almost like, yep, this one's not looking good. It's probably over.
Yeah, it really has just been a chess match between the 2 coaches right now, or the 4 coaches. You gotta remember that MTB is with Bagdel Seth, and Cascade is accompanied with NMM. So it's a chess match between the 2 coaches right now, like draft 1, draft 2, 1-1.
Yeah, at first, as much as I was like questioning the Moscow, it also made sense a little bit more in the bigger picture of RRQ, where it's just like there's so much focus in the center of the map that you can just leave Toy to his own devices. You need a pick that can just sustain the lane and also just, if not hardcore, win it, at least just keep it even. And ultimately, in the big picture, RRQ drafted incredibly well. Well, it feels like Aurora, after they decided to pick up the Angela in the first phase, they were just shoehorned into that idea. They couldn't get out of it anymore.
Yeah,
unfortunate.
I think too, like, you have this lineup that's built off like the Angela and having all these shields and sustain, but then there's a Baksha.
Exactly.
And then like we mentioned with the itemization too, like they all had so much gold too that they just, and the lead, that they just built those up to pretty much deal with any of the sustainability that comes with an Angela, comes with these shields, comes with these, you know, tankier junglers like it's supposed to be the Uranus, but like 0 and 6. Tianzi, I just feel like we haven't seen him play much utility, and maybe he should just go ahead and stick with the assassins, and that they can play around there the best. But when you go through the ban now, the ban list, it's like, yeah, he's really being targeted down, and then you have to think, okay, what other assassins could he pick up? Would it still work for that? And I think that's where we see, you know, later on for game 3. But this now makes it really up in the air. It's like Aurora had a great game 1, they got smashed here in game 2. So where does this lead us for game 3 ahead of us?
I think the glaring 2 points that we can talk about in the draft is the fact that so far, Sotojin has only made the utility jungles work. And so far, Tianzi has only done well with Assassin. So maybe it's a utility ban on the left, Assassin ban on the right. Maybe we'll see that happen in game number 3, because at this point, I think both of the coaches should have a read on each other.
Yeah, and I think we're also going to be continuing a theme that we've popped up ever since MWI. Don't be too honest in your drafting.
Lie.
Lie a little bit.
Lie a little bit.
A part of me was also on the same boat as you, Mirko, where that lineup was just so good, but then I just took one really good rotation for the very beginning of RRQ. Add to that, though, I feel like Lunar, yes, I know his job is to clear and rotate. I feel like there were times he was over-rotating and over-committing, man. Like
cutting way too early, too. That gave the second kill away to the Baksha.
Yeah. The Benedetta can work, but you're just not as, I would say, like, tanky, for example, as the Lapu Lapu, for example. Like, you're going to go in, you're going to be able to do some of the damage, but I even feel like with the Benedetta, like, if you are punished early on and you fall behind, like, you then find yourself in a position where you're just having a hard time to do much, and then you're forced to even use the Electo Final Blow or the Petrify more defensively than the game plan was to maybe initiate with it in some cases when they were initially going through the draft. And so Aurora, the entire time, like right from minute 2, they were in defensive mode. And that is just not where you want to be with this kind of lineup.
And the Selena ban really hurt Aurora. They had such a crazy creative pick on Rosa that enabled Rosa to do everything crazy. Now on the Juicin, I think it's not just because of the Juicin pick. The Juicin pick was fine. Because there was no front line, there was no space given to Rosa, he wasn't really able to replicate what he's been able to do the last 4 games on Selena.
Yeah, I feel like if Aurora had a different roamer for Apex 47, something that could supplement what Juicin brings to the table early on, could have tempered a little bit of what EDOC and Rins were able to do in the center of the map. So I think that's something we really have to think about now for Aurora. I feel like this is the first time we've really seen a big dent in their armor. Yes, I know their series against Onyx went to 3, but even then that loss in game number 2, it wasn't a stop. It was so competitive. This is the first time we really got to see Aurora take a misstep, you know?
I think to bring the point of like my criticism toward RRQ in MPL Indonesia Grand Finals, I could say the same thing about Aurora. It's almost like they know what their strengths are. Tianzi on an assassin, Rosa on a playmaker, Apex 47 similarly on a playmaker. They literally did the opposite of all of that in game number 2. They went to play, I think this now becomes a very big weakness point that a lot of teams are looking at and being like, all right, we might have a read on them too.
And RRQ were the team to be able to do that with bans on Fanny, Selena, and Lancelot. I would want to see RRQ continue to put the pressure on the Selena of Rosa so that we get to see a little bit more of how Aurora would draft and play around if they don't have the Selena. And at the same time, it's also a good thing for Aurora because now they get to really see how their limits or where their limits are. So their limits are tested so that they can come up with new things to surprise us even more, if ever. Again, if you missed out the surprise earlier, we do have a new skin line coming up, the Metro Zero skin line. Again, it just feels all like cyberpunky, futuristic, all that. So if you're a fan of that kind of aesthetic, look for it, wait out for it. Not a lot of news on it just yet, but of course, keep your eyes and ears out for our new skin line. Now, as we head into game number 3, I'm trying to think of the possibilities here. It seems like Yisun Shin really is something that you should not be giving to Aurora.
Yeah, so Aurora going to go blue side now. Yisun Shin has been the first pick in game 1. I think... looking at the bans, they banned Lance Fanny Baksha game 1. So I think leave the Baksha. Like it's okay even if TNZ gets the utility. I think I'd much rather, if I was RRQ, go up against the Baksha than the Yisun Shin.
Yeah, I think I still think like I almost want to say for Aurora. I mean I kind of expect this even for RRQ to an extent. It's like that game 2 or this series, because it is a position to the knockout, it's like we could have tested something out. And I almost feel like this was a test in a way for Aurora to be like, all right, let's see if this works. But it completely failed. It did. It crashed and burned. So I almost want to say, yeah, maybe if they go utility, the only one really I see Tianzi being able to make work, probably Baksha for him. But if not, and also depending on once we get to the bans, is like what is open him for him in the Assassins. And I think, have we seen him play at Hayabusa yet?
Who? Tianzi?
Tianzi?
No.
Yeah, so it's mostly been Lancelot,
Fanny Lance,
YSS.
Fanny Lance, Yisun Shin,
So they are in the blue, like we mentioned.
Selena first ban.
I think we're going to see a Lancelot again. And this poses the question of what does Aurora want to do? Do they want to give a utility over to Tianzi? And how do they have a better game plan for game 3?
I wonder if RRQ want to pull like a crazy one and forget about the Fanny. Like just leave it open. Fanny 0% win rate right now hasn't really been doing too well.
I'm more on that boat. Instead of banning out the Fanny, you take out heroes that shine with it and plus give it difficulty. If you're gonna give the Fanny, you're gonna have to prioritize Batang on the first 2 red picks.
So let's see. Aurora ban out the Phobia, so they are setting up for like, I think, more Lance than Fanny.
Oh,
It's going to be open?
I think RRQ need to ban the Lance.
Yeah, I think you should.
Over to Fanny, I agree. I think the Lance is a bit more terrifying in this current meta.
Yep.
And ban the Lance here. Let them pick up the Fanny if they really want to, and then like punish it. But if they ban out the Baksha, this is first pick priority for Aurora.
So they want to trade it.
Or what?
I don't think Aurora should just go Lancelot.
Yeah. I mean, it's proven even after the previous day. Okay, they go for the Kalea. They want to take a few extra steps. They go for the Kalea, they'll get pick off, they'll get burst at the center of the map, or go for high control. Either just the Juice and Farsa, or... I don't know, we haven't seen the Kimmy yet in the hands of Rosa, have we?
Not yet, no. It's just been Selena and then Juicin.
Oh, right, yeah, it's just Selena and Juicin.
So the Juicin gets picked up by RRQ with the Moskov again. Wow, early Moskov one more time for RRQ. No Lance just yet.
Yeah. So it seems like that's the game plan. Strong center of the map, strong XP, dead lane the gold lane.
There's a Lance. And the Farsa.
Yeah.
This gives you the Again, you know, Rosa gonna be fine with this Farsa. You already have a ton of damage profile. You have a great burst.
Wow.
Kalea. This is interesting though. Over on the other side, the Akai comes through, which is still technically flexed.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, I mean, like, most part, we've seen him...
I think it's... mostly it's been the flex of jungle roam.
Yeah.
But
Jungle
I think
roam.
this is already going to be jungle.
Yeah, but like, that's, for me, doesn't Kakai get countered by the Farsa and Lance, right? Like, you, before the fight even starts, you're poked down by the Farsa.
Yeah.
Retreat battle, Thorn Rose is still there, and you can get poked by the Lance too to force out early heavy spin before the neutral objective. So RRQ have to win out the mid lane if they want the Sakai to get the most out of the heavy spin.
Yeah, they need a strong front. It can't be one of those scenarios where you have the jungler or the tanky jungler, excuse me, being the frontliner getting vision. You have to be the let the Akai play back and let someone else play front.
I think get a glue, maybe? Maybe glue for the XP.
Oh.
For RQ. Like, they need something, tankier for the XP lane here.
Yeah. Or just
think I want damage.
Someone annoying, like a Hilda. Maybe in the EXP lane, if ever. Considering
like
it's
the
a Lance and a Farsa.
Could still be a Granger too.
What will RRQ ban in terms of the gold lane? Just take out the Granger. Maybe.
I think just if they want a Hilda, leave the Granger. But if they don't, then ban it out.
Yeah, of course. One of the
really
surprise
good
picks.
respect.
Yeah,
I like that.
Iksha. I feel like that's so such a pocket pick, you know? Like,
And there's no dive right now for RRQ, so that could have been a seal the deal kind of moment for Aurora.
Yeah, good thing they didn't miss out on it. They could still eventually, end up getting the Granger later on for Aurora if they want a little bit more backline poke. It seems like all roads lead to like Hilda and, as you mentioned, maybe even potentially the glue. If they want to add a little bit more of a dive aspect with a bit more damage and set, they could even consider Lapu in the EXP. Yeah,
could still be another Cho Lapu end to the draft here.
Yeah, that too.
I think it's just a kind of decision. Like, do we want more damage to be able to also set things up, or do we want more kind of durability so the Akai just isn't the one that's kind of up in that front line and then taking the majority of that setup damage?
I think safe choice would be the Cho first, and then Aurora decide to go like Lapu or something else. If Aurora do go Lapu, then RRQ get Esmeralda, get that winning lane too.
There it is.
There you go. So now it's up to Aurora. So Aurora go either Lapu or what are the XP are we thinking here? CC? I don't know.
CC.
If they go CC, then RRQ go. No, they need a bit more damage.
Yeah, this is the difficult thing about Aurora right now. They have to choose the matchup. They're the ones determining it right now. That with the picks available, RQ could just answer to it well enough, not to essentially win it. I'd still want to see them consider something like a Badang, honestly. Yeah.
They go CC.
They still go for the damage.
Okay. CC, and then the last pick, gold lane.
Bruno. Okay. Bruno, Farsa. Good chunks of damage. Lots of singular.
There's no stats for Bruno. He's been picked before, right?
Yeah. The reason, I mean, like, the reason they didn't want to go, so it is going to be the Badang against CC after seeing CC. I thought they needed more damage, but I guess they're just confident in that. But yeah, in case you guys are wondering why Bruno over Granger, that could have been a very easy Hilda XP pick.
Yeah. All right. I really honestly don't know what to expect. With all of the surprises that the group stage has brought, it is now down to one final game between RRQ and Aurora to determine which one of them will join Mythic Seal and Team Liquid in the knockout stages. Naisu, Miracle, break it down even more before we head into game number 3.
Thank you so much, Renmar. I like this. We now get a glimpse at the lineups once again for our viewers out there. You guys can let us know which team you think has the better composition, which team will go ahead and lock in at that spot into the knockout stage. Once again, it's me, Naisu, and Mirko to bring you the action, the very last game here for this best of 3. It's all going to come down to this because game 1, game 2 have been one-sided for each team. Now, what will happen here? Jumping into the land of dawn, it's game 3. Mirko, what do you think? You called a lot of these picks, you know, that came through. And I gotta say, the Akai in the jungle versus the Lancelot, of course, from TNZ, who has had probably the best performances so far in this hero, and just overall in the jungle even for TNZ. How do you think that's gonna fare out?
The Lancelot's a really good pick for Aurora. For RRQ, Mike, the big question for me is a Badang. Is it going to be damage Badang? Apex 47 and E-Dog just going at it here in the mid lane. Rins with Lantern Flare will bring Apex back. Oh, that is going to be first blood. Rins, oh my lord! Out of mana just a bit, still gets it down. E-Dog with the Jiku, no, Rosa might have to flicker, and he does.
Hey, we've spent so much time talking about mid lane trio or mid trios for a lot of the teams, and RRQ, it's not as devastating as game 2, but they do get that first blood. They go ahead and get a minor lead. We'll take a look at the emblems real quick too. A lot of whole common emblems going on here, but also to be the case, you know, this is one of the things I think with the Badang. What do we see here? Because he's running the Quantum Charge.
Yeah.
Build-wise is what more so probably damage, right?
That's the question. I don't know if he's going to go damage or if it's just normal build. TNZ lifted up, Lantern Flare there, E-Dog with the Shunpu. And it'll be a quick escape for TNZ. Yeah, that's the question I have. Will Dyron go damage? The emblem looks pretty normal.
Yeah.
This is what we see from Dyron a lot of times in ID.
Okay.
But we've never seen him go damage yet in ID.
Well, I think, you know, based on the way that we've seen Badangs play and stuff too, it's just more so like your setup potential, fist crack, fist break, oh, like that.
Dyron already locking Rosa down. This is why Onyx ID in the grand finals just banned Badang. Both teams respected Badang. Dyron on a signature pick gives RRQ a free neutral objective. Tsunami Slam over to Dyron. This could be a kill back. Dyron looking for the pin, able to get 2 there. Knocks him back. Sutsujin walking up 2. He evades from a kill, and now it could be a kill back. Sutsujin with a heavy spin. Apex pinned down to the wall. Rins puts the light on him.
I was going to say, what a terrible way to die. Get locked down by a heavy spin from a Panda and then get a Lantern. Oh,
they're just too clean. Oh, you hear the war cries from RRQ here in the venue. Wow. They're pissed off after game 1.
Yeah, it's heated, man. They're already. Once again, I was like, it wasn't as devastating as the previous game to start, but 3 minutes in, they find themselves 4 kills. A nice little bit of a lead in gold here. And Susujin having a great start. You know, 2-0 on an Akai. Yes, TNZ is going to be able to keep up, you know, farming-wise, XP and everything else, but the composition, Tsunami Slam.
E-Dog should fall. Sigiboom gets the kill. Good shot. Sigiboom gets the Haas Claws too. That's an attempt from Toy to steal the gold crab away.
Yeah, I think this is going to have to be one of those cases, man, where, you know, for Aurora Gaming, they got to rely on Sigiboom again to be able to pop off. He did get this early kill. That's going to be great, but Rosa has been having a hell of a time, and usually we're expecting in the early game, you know, that Farsa to be the threat with this Feathered Airstrike. It was utilized, but that's something to be said. Even if a Farsa falls behind, one thing's for sure, a Feathered Airstrike is still a valuable ultimate to have, especially around objectives later on. So for RRQ, you know, they try to maintain what they can. E-Dog does have that flicker available, and like we saw previously, expect them to go for the kicks. He's going to be pretty aggressive on this, and they're hyped up, man.
Some other teams are hyped up too. I believe we just heard the next team will be competing in the next match. Go crazy in the back there, but RRQ, yes, still in control, but Aurora have done a really good job at just stopping the lead from being too crazy. Tsunami Slam, reading E-Dog's move. E-Dog's still going to be taken down by TNZ there as he constantly just dashes on the minions in the mid lane with a puncture. Well, remember, Dyron with a big pin down there, but it's going to be a good escape as Rins is forced to use the Crimson Beacon. Dyron poked down as well. Aurora Gaming winning out Turtle to Toy, just farming up top.
Yep, good push from Toy. That's probably all they're going to get since this objective is going to be secured unless Susujin tries to get there.
Oh, heavy spin baited out. There you go. Yes, so he did land. Dyron caught in the bad spot now. Lunar chasing him down. Turtle 2 free.
Okay. Turtle 2's taken. It was work. There's a kick, though. Lunar.
That's going to be Apex jumping onto Sutsujin. Good curtain call on the Vengeance from Lunar to evade from a possible kill.
Okay. All this in the past couple minutes, man, has brought that little bit of a lead that RRQ had earlier on down to pretty much nothing. So you have equal objectives so far. RRQ, though, I feel like got some decent gold in the hands of Toy. He was able to go ahead and push up quite a bit into that. But still, it's a macro play. No, whoa.
Bottom lane, a gank. Okay, Dyron survives.
We got thrown off there, but yeah, Dyron's gonna be fine. He's still gonna stay though. Guess just to go ahead and grab this, clear this wave out so it's not pushed in. But meanwhile, up top, Sigiboom been holding his own. He did have to pop the Purify, it looks like, for that. So still playing into that. And this is where we see both teams kind of get back into this settled position. Now they've traded objective. They've still working on the tier 1 turrets if they can, but ultimately they have to rely now on setup potential. Even looking at Aurora Gaming, they essentially have the same thing. The option of going in with the Tsunami Slam, we've seen it a lot from Apex 47, and that is going to be the exact play over here for RRQ. Now, the other facet to that is Dyron has been the one that's very proactive on the Badang to go ahead and set things up. So you've got a couple options here. There is some pushing, though, from Aurora, even up towards that tier 2 now.
Yep. Good stuff from TNZ too on this Lancelot. So far, it's just been a trade, and I think for the trade, it's just equal here. So Lunar has been getting a lot of free farm, but they got a turret up top, and they were able to enable Toy to get to his item power spikes a bit quicker as TNZ will invade here. The big question for RRQ is damage, right? Another Tsunami Slam into the burst. EDOC falling again. Siggy Boom getting a second kill and a second item with the Berserker's Fury.
Yeah, picks up a big item for him. Again, Bruno still one of those heroes that just needs maybe 2, still maybe 3 items to go ahead and really be online. So now that he's got that little bit of extra damage, Dyron
1v1, Dyron with a flicker out. That's a Phantom Execution, dodging him from Thorn Rose too. Sutujin walking up, SOD, very close from landing. Sutujin already with the Retribution, but has to respect this as Apex cuts him off.
Good try on that the spear there, but not going to happen. TNC will make his way to the turtle, so this looks like it's just going to go in the hands of Aurora Gaming as Sutujin is zoned out from Lunar.
Yep.
It's going to be a little bit too late to that, so TNC secures the turtle. Conceal used. They force in the fight.
Yep, that's a flicker over from Apex, finding EDOC again. The Feather Airstrike coming down as Apex gets lifted to the air by Rins, but there is no threat. Aurora, 2K.
Interesting, man. Like how the adjustment has come to play from Aurora. Just, they held on, you know, they felt that the brute force from RRQ early on. They're like, man, we can't let this happen again. Having flashbacks of game 2, and they've adjusted. So they're playing into that whole Apex 47. It goes in for the pickoffs. We make that happen every single time it's available. But also, Lunar has done a fantastic job at playing the macro game. You can see he's got the War Axe and the brute force now. He's actually going to be fine on his own, especially because he has a vengeance, right? No one's really going to single-handedly take down Lunar. Lunar can continue to put pressure around the map, so RRQ has to be able to actually contain that. And that's why we've seen this shift where Dyron in the early portion of the game was a part of all these initiations. Now he has to kind of keep things in tow. The mid lane, though, Kenzi's going to take the purple buff. Look at this positioning here, though. You know,
wow.
He's got to get out of there, I think.
Yeah. RRQ are now just banking on Toy. Sutujin going to be engaged on, has a heavy spin, uses it, and gets away. But that's it, right? Like, RRQ at this point, they really are just banking on Toy to get to the item power spikes and then to maybe carry the game. But Aurora have a loaded Bruno.
Yeah, I was going to say, the problem with that is, like, the Bruno is already there. And that's
and
always...
the Farsa.
Yeah, and the Farsa.
And the Lance.
And remember, Rosa struggled in the early game. But, as I said, the feathered airstrike is still valuable. Even if you're 0-4, that's one of the plus sides of having a Farsa. You can go ahead and set that artillery up for the team and work through that. So now, a Tsunami Slam going to be used.
Again, this time onto Dyron, doesn't react in time. Apex gets the kill, and it actually baits out a flicker out from Dyron. Timing couldn't be better for Aurora. Look at that damage on Rins, too. Lord spawning in the game. Aurora should get this for free, and RRQ again just forced to watch.
Yeah. Oh, heavy spin used.
One Lunar. That's a Vengeance too. No damage. Again, Way the Dragon. They have a ton of CC though, and that'll be enough to give. Oh no, but EDOC gets the kill.
Yeah, and oh, hold on. Still pressure under the turret.
Gets a few shots in. Rin still standing. TNZ? Oh no, that might have been a mistake. Oh, it's gonna cancel constantly, and Rins gets the kill.
Are they? I'm not sure why they stayed. They didn't have to go ahead and pressure that.
No reason.
They just gave that kill over to RRQ there, even though they got the objective. That's great for them, but man, that is not a mistake you want to continue to make here. Aurora Gaming still holds on to a lead. They did a ton of work at getting in this position here. They don't want to throw it away like that, but RRQ will look to punish and clear things out. Siggy Boom doesn't get the orange buff. He was working on it, but they're going to fight anyway.
There you go, another one. Dyron is dead again. Aurora with the constant pickoffs. And RRQ are forced back. Despite the kill on TNZ, they really just can't capitalize here. Yeah. Still waiting for Toy. Apex with another jump over to Sutujin. Rin still there with the Lantern Flare, and Moskov starting to hurt at least. But the Worldie's doing the same. Oh, back and forth on the RRQ members. Toy trying to clear. That's again a zoning skill 1 from Rosa.
Look at Sigiboom, so confident. He has all the space in the world to work. That is going to be the Holy Shield being popped, though. So ultimately, that Lord, not too much. RRQ is going to be fine to go ahead and clear things out. And Toy is pretty much online. I would say, you know, we got to start to see him convert some of that damage that he has now. Looking at the items, he's got the Trinity that he needs. He's going to be in a good position and maybe gets the Wind of Nature, of course, next for that defensiveness. Earlier on, the Malefic Gun was picked up by Sigiboom. So he's got a great advantage. Look at the damage still from Rosa. This is the crazy thing about Farsa. Even going down 2 deaths early on, you're still at the top of the charts. Conceal's going to be used. Are they going to make a play?
Dyron in the back, finding a massive one on Rosa. Lantern Flare not there yet. E-Dog jumps to the back and Toy just dismantles them. Sky Piercer built up by Rins. Dyron with another pin down over to Tienzi, forcing the Phantom Execution. E-Dog with a Jiku No on the way to Dragon, finally getting picked over to Epix 47. The Thorn Rose there, but it is RRQ with now a stack on the Sky Piercer. Tienzi with the Thorn Rose one more time. E-Dog over to Jiku No, able to get it onto Tienzi, but there's no more follow-up here as Toy continues to pierce through. Phantom Execution pinned down from Dyron again!
Oh, man! RRQ will fight back! Just when you thought Aurora Gaming had that lead that they wanted to, they come back, swing things forward.
They're so aware, and again, Naisu, Dyron on Badang, the game changer, the X factor.
Oh, and Dyron has dealt with getting Tsunami slammed multiple times, man. I feel like this one was a little personal as he goes in. You can see the Lord advantage that they had too. It was negative for Aurora. And so this was a great play, and I'm surprised still. They tried to clear this out and keep things going. Oh, bottom lane.
That should be a pick on Lunar. There's no one to help. He'll buy some time.
Maybe they can Lord.
No, they can't. It's a bit too quick. They have no burst on Lord, not instant, so free pick. And RRQ have the advantage now.
Hey, man, I was saying, you know, Toy having those items, he had the trinity of items that he needed. He came in, popped off, and it worked so well. Wind of Nature is now for both of the gold laners. They're going to need it here, but big thing is RRQ playing the advantage around Dyron. And that seems to be the hard part. Rins, too, has done a phenomenal job at using that beacon, using the flares down to give space to RRQ. Now they're going to take control of this. They already get the feathered airstrike down, too, so this should be an easier Lord for them to take, unless Apex jumps
zoning. Okay, Tsunami Slam over. That should be a free retreat. Dyron still able to escape as that's the Phantom Execution defensively. Free take.
Free take. They get that feathered airstrike down, and they're confident enough to go ahead and continue on. So now they're up to this point, RRQ. But this is a conceal from Aurora. What does Apex 47 want to do here? They just want to fast clear this Lord out.
Yeah, they do. But RRQ, read this. Look at the move of E-Doc on the side. Look at Jiku No. Might be able to find out. Apex does do it. Way the Dragon Toy gets the damage down, and the instant execute with the Sky Piercer on him.
Oh. They might look for more. Lord's still up here. They got to clear this out. They still have Sigiboom, but down at one member. What more are they going to lose here? E-Dog takes a couple shots.
Damage.
Yeah, he'll burn on down, but the Lord finally worked on. This might be all that RRQ gets, but they are clawing back towards this game. They've gotten themselves in a good position here. Tienzi, though, not sure if he's actually... Yeah, he'll just be forced out of the jungle here. Susujin might jump forward onto this turret.
Wow. Almost well played there. Yeah. You know, the chain CC was almost there, but Tienzi got away with a puncture away from the heavy spin that could have pinned him down.
These fights are so interesting because some of them are almost like a feint. Like some of the fights, some of the ultimates that on both sides allow them to go in for these, I'm going to initiate, but then they pull off and then they go back and forth here. And now we're getting into the territory where you're going to play into some of the immortalities coming up. Of course, still the defensive items like the Wind of Nature, as we mentioned. E-Dog has been on the hunt all game, man. He's been doing a really good job at finding the setups and kicking it into Toy. A lot of times, he's able to just go ahead and kick it towards the right members of RRQ. Essentially, they still have to respect what our Aurora Gaming have, though. You can see economically, you know, the gold lean isn't going to be too crazy like we've seen from the previous 2 games. So it's more so down to managing the macro. But as we said through this meta, it's like, how is the micro for both of these teams? How can they go ahead and solidify an advantage into a team fight? That's one of the biggest things here for both of them. Taking a look at the items, you can see the plays here. You got a bit of an advantage in the mid lane, but like I said, for Rosa, just build up on that damage.
And the Moskov, the man they've been banking on from the start of the game, is now fully built up. Even the Rombos, everybody getting him, helping the Mr. Man Edok out with some golden XP.
Oh, this is good.
Edok.
Conceal going to be used. Apex.
Wait, the Dragon putting him down again, but Tsunami Slam actually comes in, so they were able to cancel it out. Further airstrike of the Rins. Now, Sutsu Jin with the pin down now, with the heavy spin as well. Siggy Boom! All alone, isolated by the Panda. But Don gets the knockout punch, and RRQ 10 seconds away from the Lord, get the marksman.
What a target. The perfect target for RRQ to get. They find Siggy Boom. This is going to be a Lord for them to take. I don't know if there's anything that Aurora can do unless they try to pull something fancy here. Darren's going to go ahead and post up. You can see how fast they're blitzing it. They go with the conceal anyway.
Yep. They have to try. Rosa already wings by wings. This is going to be free.
Yeah.
Without Siggy Boom, there's absolutely no chance that they have a shot at winning a team fight.
Oof, tough place to be in now for Aurora Gaming. This lineup that they have, once Siggy Boom's up, they could still be in a good position again to go ahead and go for a defense. They hold on to the base turrets, RRQ as well. This is about as close as it's been throughout our series today between these two teams, fighting for that knockout stage spot to move forward. And right now, it's leaning towards RRQ. A good push in with this Lord could get them the win. Rosa?
Uh-oh, Flicker already used by Rosa. The SOD doesn't land, but Edon has the way the Dragon. Rosa all alone, the way of the Dragon, and Rins is right there to pick up another Sky Piercer. Rins is unstoppable, 5-0. No Farsa?
No Farsa for the defense is what I'm thinking, Mirko. This is so unfortunate for Aurora Gaming. Still 30 seconds away.
Tyrion gets a fist crack over to Siggy Boom. Now with Ikundo as well. Lantern Flare not there, but finally gets it down. Another Sky Piercer for Rins. And now with a heavy spin, RRQ with the war cry as they reverse Aurora Turkey.
And RRQ will do it. They'll move forward to the knockout stage here against Aurora Gaming from